to cut me off, make it like it never happened, and then we were nothing. I don't even need you.
Okay, so I just finished watching The Vampire Diaries 719, and oh god, I have thoughts. Okay, so first off, Caroline, Alaric, and Stefan. These three are a hot mess. So I guess Stefan is still in love with Caroline, and to a certain degree, Caroline may be still in love with Stefan. I mean, Alaric told the story at the end of how he found out she was parking somewhere to cry for a very long time, and now she's starting to move on a little bit. But when Caroline saw him at the end, oh my god, I was like, is she gonna slam the door in his face like Bonnie did to Damon? But she went kind of the opposite route. She just completely ignored him. She barely gave him a reaction. You could see in her face that she wasn't necessarily happy to see him, but she said nothing to him at all. Stefan, like Damon, could barely fucking say anything. Like, say something to her. You haven't... This is the same thing I was complaining about last episode when Damon saw Bonnie, when he couldn't open his mouth and say words. And Stefan should have just immediately just tried. Just try. Even if she ends up walking away from you, you have to just try. But, you know, now things are going to change for her and Alaric. When I first saw the Justice of the Peace on the calendar, I said the same thing Stefan said. I was like, Justice of the Peace. I thought that was really strange because Caroline is not really a Justice of the Peace type of girl. She likes events. She's always liked events and planning big things, and a big wedding just completely seems like a Caroline type of thing, not just a quickie wedding. So that was like a clue, like, okay, either she loves him so much that they want to do a quickie wedding, or she doesn't love him enough to go through the whole big shebang, which unfortunately for Lark is what it turned out to be. Even though in the beginning of the season when she was at the news station, didn't she have people calling her about wedding planning and stuff like that? And if it's Justice of the Peace, there's no need to wedding plan. So that was a little inconsistent if I am remembering it right. But of course, Stefan peeped that, and of course he has to... Why does Stefan... Even if there's more to the story, Stefan left Caroline without any kind of explanation. So he doesn't have the right to just come back and try to make Alaric feel like shit for the kind of situation that they have going on. Their situation is none of Stefan's business. He shouldn't even be speaking on it and trying to make Alaric feel bad. Alaric was there for Caroline. You were not. You left and you were with Valerie and traveling the world and having fun and sleeping with another woman. And Alaric and Caroline, she still hasn't even... It's been 3 years and she still can't even sleep in the same bed as this man. Even if she's not crying over you anymore, she still obviously has you in the back of her head. The main objective of this episode is killing Raina's demons. I call them demons that are fucking with Raina to try to save Bonnie. They have this whole elaborate plan of switching Raina's life with Bonnie's, I guess, and Raina is just willing to die even... I don't know. That's the main objective, is to kill Raina's demons and save Bonnie's life. Stefan and Alaric have to team up. Poor Alaric keeps getting sucked into these things with these Salvatores that he doesn't want anything to do with, and they kind of just bring him in involuntarily. Damon called Stefan to help, and Stefan's like, yeah, just tell us what you want us to do. And if I was Alaric, I'd be like, don't volunteer me. I didn't say ask me first. I know Stefan probably assumed because Bonnie and Alaric are friends they would help, but just ask. This was a little refreshing. Like, the thing I like about Bonnie is that she's so strong and she's never really a damsel in distress. And she doesn't need a lot of saving. It wasn't like with Elena when they had to save... She found danger at every freaking turn and they had to save her all the time. No days off. I kind of liked everybody coming together to try to help Bonnie because she's done so much for all of them over the years. Like, it's about time that people put in some effort to do something for her. So Damon is still not on the Bonenzo ship. He is still not feeling it at all. You can see it in his face. Every time he looks at them, he just doesn't like it. Now, I don't know if it's because of the Enzo of it all. He just doesn't want Bonnie with Enzo. or if it was anybody, he would still just be like, fuck this guy. Like, I can't tell what it is, but he obviously has extra hostility towards Enzo because of the poison pills. And he's just frustrated with Bonnie, like, why don't you see he did this to you? And she's like, well, it doesn't matter. I love him. And we all know that when Bonnie loves somebody, she loves them hard, and she's always just willing to sacrifice herself for the people that she loves. So they're on the kill tour, and Bonnie and Enzo are having like really cute moments. And they kind of went back and showed how they came to be together. And I'll admit, and yes, I am a Bonnie and Damon lover to the core, but I want Bonnie to be happy for once with somebody that is not Jeremy, finally. And she hasn't had that in a very long time. And Enzo was hot. So, I mean, they were living together for like 2.5 years. It just only makes sense that she would eventually jump his bones. When he asked her to change, and then she came out in the pretty dress, and he had the whole place set up for her, I melted. I loved it so much because nobody has really done that for Bonnie. When she had her first date with Jeremy, you know, he had some Chinese food and like a couple candles, and he was, of course, they were young. He was a teenager. I understand it, but since then she's never really had any big romantic gestures. I thought it was cute. I'm not hating Bonnie and Enzo. Please don't hate me for saying that, but I'm not hating it for right now. I still don't think it's gonna last, especially with Damon hovering all the time. Every time they were having a moment to themselves, Damon's just in the background sulking. You know, he's not feeling it. And Bonnie she hates him because she loves him. It's gonna play, I think, into Enzo and Bonnie potentially breaking up in the future because she just still has this Damon thing that she's not really truly over, especially with him being back. When he jacked up Enzo and cursed him out for giving her the poison pills, and he said, I'll hunt you down. And the way he said it with just such anger and aggression, like, if he loses Bonnie because of Enzo, he's absolutely going to kill Enzo. Bonnie is somebody he loves. It just is up to, I think, in the air of what kind of love it is. Like, I can see someone saying that they see that as a big brotherly type of move. That is something that a big brother would say to their little sister's boyfriend. I can see that, and then I can see it being the other way because it's somebody that he is in love with. And if anything happens to her because of this other guy that he doesn't want her with anyway, he's going to kill him. So I can really see both sides of it. Oh, man. Bonnie and Damon just love each other. All this shipper shit just drives me crazy. Now this damn vault, I said it the last review. I said this vault is going to have a big bad, or it's going to introduce us to a big bad, and now we know it's another St. John, and they're nothing but trouble. So this is going to cause some shit. Is this going to be like the tomb? When they opened the tomb, that caused all kinds of death and chaos and all types of shit. So it's like the tomb again, or the prison world again. Getting the characters out of the prison world. It's always opening something and villains come out and fuck shit up. Then they get killed, or they start to be humanized and then they get killed, and then we move on to the next villain. And I don't necessarily have high expectations for this villain. It's just hard. Even with Raina, I don't like love to hate her. I don't hate to love her. She was supposed to be a villain, but she just kind of, to me, was a minor annoyance throughout this season. She didn't have the effect of a Kai or a Catherine or a Klaus. She just wasn't on that level of villain. And Kai, we had Kai last year, and he is a hard act to follow. I will say that he really is, but I want them to be able to introduce a villain that was on that type of level. But Raina, she's kind of been of a disappointment of a big bad to me. So hopefully maybe this next one will have it. Who knows? I do want Vampire Diaries to start keeping the villains because they really don't do that. They really try to humanize them or make them sympathetic in some type of way, or just do something to to make people start to like them. Just like when Kai merged with Luke, and he was like likable in a way like before that, even though he was just completely crazy. The only reason I kind of wanted Kai to take a turn was because I wanted him to stop hurting Bonnie. And then he took a turn, he merged with Luke, and he became empathetic or whatever, and then he started like still stalking Bonnie and was like determined to be her friend. It's just like, why don't you get it? She don't fuck with you. Alright, just give her lots and lots and lots of time and space. But Kai was a very enjoyable villain when he was a villain and then when he turned. But I wish he could have been on the show longer. I don't know. Season 7 villains just haven't been doing it for me. So hopefully this next one will. And it's another female, I believe. And we've introduced a lot. And I'm not complaining or anything. We've introduced a lot of female characters since Kai. And I kind of want another really hot vampire or supernatural guy to come in and start giving Ian and Paul a run for their money. We got 3 more episodes left, and I hope season 7 goes out with a bang. They've been teasing some big events in the finale, and I hope it lives up to it. Season 5 finale was great. Remember that? The season 1 finale is still my favorite to this day. The Catherine reveal. I don't want the show to become stale, so I think she's going on a high note. I think season 8 should be its last. But we'll see, because, you know, just like the Walking Dead writers are talking about they can go for 15 seasons, no show should ever go for 15 seasons, and that goes for Vampire Diaries too. So, Bonnie, Damon, Enzo, that's a love triangle in a sense. Alaric, Stefan, Caroline, that's a triangle in a way. I can't wait to see what happens. It was an emotional roller coaster, and I'll be here after 7:20. Thank you so much for watching. This is D. Marie Love.